Sometimes we see people reacting to our getting overcautious, but it's worth it, isn't it? Nature versus nurture can play a big role, and each one can influence. Welcome to the 14th episode of Shiksha Sarathi. June celebrates the World Environmental Day, and the best way to integrate the love and sense of responsibility in all of us is to bond and learn from the environment, with the environment. So today, our topic is a little bit to add to make the larger world a better place to live in. The theme chosen this year is plastic and its effect on the environment. The NCF has suggested that we integrate the awareness of environment with language, numeracy, and everyday learning so that it becomes an essential part of the learning process, connecting the children to their culture, aesthetics, and relate directly to the things around them. I have always used the environmental awareness themes and topics for language development, as these help the children to express about things around them and communicate with ease. Today, we are so careful about our expensive digital devices because there is a sense of bonding with them, and we believe that we cannot do without them. So, we take care of them. But how careful or conscious are we about the natural environment and our responsibility, and do we care deeply is the question. Does it hurt us to see the amount of waste we create on a personal level? Do we carry back any plastic that we take with us from a holiday that maybe on an island we visit? Do we even think that if we leave these small things behind, where will they be disposed of? Do our children really see us care about the smaller things in our control? Simple things like not keeping the AC on all the time, switching off the lights and fans when not needed, walking where possible, not wasting food, carrying cloth bags, being absolutely careful not to take plastic bags when we go out for our daily shopping, and make this a rule. Can we wash our hands instead of using tissues all the time? Do we carry a small container to drink, or do we just use disposables thoughtlessly? If we carry one spoon, we can return disposables at each flight or train or any journey that we take. Do we discard our toothbrushes for variety? Have we consciously shifted to natural toothbrushes? 100 questions we can ask ourselves. And the first step is to take care of the smaller things in our control. I wonder why we do not have enough safe cycling routes in the country, where cycling is so popular and if encouraged can save the nation and the world so much of fuel. And if the routes are safe, so many of us would actually want to cycle happily by ourselves, with our families, with the children, with our friends. So much of the packing comes with plastic, but the one thing we can ensure at our small level is to segregate it. Each time, even the smallest piece of plastic to be collected with care and disposed of together to the waste collector so that it doesn't spread around. This is in our control. Sometimes we see people reacting to our getting overcautious, but it's worth it, isn't it? Nature versus nurture can play a big role, and each one can influence at least a few or one person in their life. I must relate an incident. A young girl has come from a village in Uttar Pradesh to study, and within a year of observing our shopping patterns, reacts very strongly to vendors putting things in plastic, saying, no, I have a bag. And she is going to take this message back with her. I know it. So as educators, can we plan our curriculums to include more activities which use the bounty of the natural environment to teach and learn? Can we use leaves and barks for rough and smooth? Can we use the window to observe the changing weather instead of coloring a worksheet? So narrating a little rhyme from one of my works. It goes like this in Hindi. खिड़की खिड़की प्यारी खिड़की दुनिया हमको दिखलाती है, बाहर मौसम कैसा है वो हमको बतलाती है खिड़की खिड़की प्यारी खिड़की, दुनिया हमको दिखलाती है, ताज़ी हवा भी खिड़की से ही अंदर आती है। खिड़की खिड़की प्यारी खिड़की हमको बाहर क्या है ये दिखलाती है, कौन खड़ा है ये दिखलाती है। खिड़की खिड़की प्यारी खिड़की दुनिया हमको दिखलाती है। चू चू करती चिड़िया, काऊ काऊ करते कौवा, और कभी कभी मैना को भी लाता है, साथ में कबूतर भी उड़ता आता है और गुड़िया से बतियाता है। चंदा मामा को भी हम खिड़की से देख आते हैं। बादल, इंद्रधनुष और सूरज से भी हम खिड़की से ही मिल जाते हैं। तो खिड़की खिड़की प्यारी खिड़की दुनिया हमें दिखलाती है। Just a beautiful message for the window and how it can show us the world. So can we use things from the daily environment to teach simple things like, pouring activities, measuring, counting, grouping, even learning tables? Can we keep the use of our resources in schools? Whatever is used to be used, but minimum and not over-provide. Can we reuse and recycle our display? Simple things like beads and fit-in cubes and toys are to be used, but can they be used with care and not discarded because the sets are incomplete and children have not learned how to be careful? I remember that, the 1 by 1 centimeter cube of the pink Montessori tower was our test of material management, and our heads used to tell us that if you can't teach the children to manage that 1 by 1 centimeter cube, they have not learned how to be careful. So demonstrating the importance of small things. Integrate local art and music to talk about the environment. And do not use a single resource to celebrate the Environment Day, not a sheet of paper, not a poster. Use music and rhythms and enacting, and you can use a simple activity like a circle time, just a minute. 2 things to actually talk about which would make you reduce the use of plastic. The most beautiful local creative expression is the street play or the Nukkad Natak, where there are rhythms and there is chorus and you can create awareness. And who better than the local folk artists to sing the songs in gardens and streets and places where people gather, to both use the rich music and the local heritage and do good to the society at large. So there is so much we can do. Yes, there is plastic everywhere, but if we are conscious, we can reduce our share of it in the world. Make a difference. Does it make a difference? Yes. One tap with a drop of water falling can fill a bucket and overflow. So yes, if we decide and create a very, very intense awareness that each one of us has to reduce just a little bit of what we are using, discard it more carefully, and just feel for the environment, feel with the environment, I think it would make a difference. And perhaps that is the reason why such close integration of environmental learning must come out of the notebooks and become a part of the children's lives. So we do hope that all of us as a community take this seriously. Just reduce a little bit more. Become conscious and feel the pain when we create this, what we do for the environment. So feel the pain and make a difference so that in the long term, in the long journey, we don't create the kind of chaos that we are creating. Thank you and see you in the next episode.
Square, square, panda.